returning to play in line with the sport's government-approved Return to Play action plan. So Community Rugby League is currently at stage 4 of the plan. The RFL board have recently approved the introduction of localised friendlies during October and November. Applications open from today, and the RFL will be contacting eligible clubs to advise them on the process. It's estimated that more than 100 clubs nationwide could receive financial support towards costs associated with first aid, PPE, training equipment, training venue fees, etc. So assuming this can still happen, considering what's going on as we record.
Well, it seems that no grassroots sports are being told to cease activities with the new 3-tier, like, not good, fucked, super fucked tiers that we've got now.
I do believe those are the official titles.
They might as well be. So, this is real positive news, a real shot in the arm, I think. It's something that the sports communities really need, and if we're focusing on the most deprived communities, then more power to it.
Yeah, it makes total sense, because, as you say, if it is going to be focused around practical things like, masks and general PPE and having that kind of stuff available that a club might be struggling to provide because they don't have it already, I think that makes total sense. And as you say, if you spend it wisely, 150,000 could actually do a lot of good for a lot of clubs.
From very basic things, from you might have worried parents who can't afford to buy all the necessary, even something as simple as the players need to have their own balls, they need to have their own drinks bottles, they need to have little bits of kit that they might not have needed a year ago because the coach would just bring it for everyone, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Now that they can't do that, this can do that, and it gives those parents reassurance that their kids can go and be involved still, and their lack of availability of funds isn't a problem because the club has got a grant here that can help with that, and reassures them that the things that are happening are safe for their kids at this time, which is really important. And things like this can get more kids playing the game again. It's hugely significant. So, like I say, it's small amounts of money, like up to £3,000 per club. But when you look at like the difference that can make to, say, 20, 30, 40 kids at each club, it's huge.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's good news, and it's the RFL kind of doing some good things in terms of funding. So it sounds like good news.
and obviously thanks to the National Lottery funding of Sport England, and without that these things wouldn't be available. So people who play the lottery, treat it like the extra tax that it is. But this is where your extra tax funds are going, and to help our community, our sports community. And one of the key things I think we need to be looking at, and you hear a lot about participation and and getting more diverse, more inclusive participation and stuff like that. Well, if you've got the availability to offer parents a safe environment and the right equipment for their kids, more parents are going to look at your sport as an option. And so, and that's kids from all sorts of backgrounds. So really, it's an opportunity there as well. We can sell it to other communities outside of our rugby league community, because if you're looking at deprived areas and that sort of stuff, and you're thinking, let's get these kids involved, and it's an opportunity to go out there and find kids and get them involved. Definitely.
Yeah, very good.
The International Rugby League, this is all very serious. The International Rugby League what happened to Down the Fox? Let's get the lock-ins back. The International Rugby League has announced a roadmap to create new confederations for the administration of the sport. Currently, there are just 2 associate members who represent the confederations. The Asia Pacific Rugby League represents broadly the Southern Hemisphere, and then the Rugby League European Federation represents effectively the Northern Hemisphere. In recent years, there's been a rapid development of participation and membership in the Middle East and Africa region and the Americas, both notably in the north, but also increasingly in the south. So there's a roadmap that's been designed to set out 6 clear steps from concept to membership to achieve recognition, and at each step there'll be objectives set to demonstrate best practice around governance, technical and competitions, plus a membership criterion of a minimum of 4 full members and 6 affiliate members in the region. So it's not just saying someone power hungry can become the Africa Federation leader and then control what happens there. Clearly there'll need to be strong membership of teams that are already part of the Rugby League European Federation for them to then look at that and think, right, you can have your own federation now, and these are the steps to deliver on that. And so, yeah, all boring technical stuff, but hopefully it's a sign of strength in our development, I guess.
Yeah, we all have a bit of governance talk on Super League Pod. Yeah, seriously, it is good news, because it is, you need the equivalence of, the European kind of bodies in these kind of continents as well, don't you? You need that kind of that structure behind it, and if this is a way to get us towards that, that makes sense, because you can't expect the European body to start looking after Jamaica.
It always seems weird, doesn't it, that
etc. and Brazil and all those kind of places.
It seems weird that they have had the kind of control over those areas. And when it says Northern Hemisphere and Southern Hemisphere, no, because the RLEF seems to be responsible for Africa as well at the moment, and South America. So it kind of feels like it's got too much on its plate. And how are you going to relate to those areas, understand what needs to go into those areas, when you're never going to visit those areas? Because let's face it, the amount of your role is already taken up going to places like Serbia and sorting out whatever's going on in Greece and things like that.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, one criticism obviously is that, rugby league on a European kind of wide basis had been, long in the talk, but slowing the action, and the fact that you're just spreading yourself too thinly, which obviously it sounds like the limited people who work for that organisation were. It makes sense. It makes sense to have more bodies involved.
But it's not rushing it either. It's kind of like it's set. So I think it's good. That's good news. Now there's some bad news.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to say this news is unfortunately taking a distinct downturn. But anyway. So it's all their own fault, we would say. Parramatta Eels' Michael Jennings has been provisionally suspended by the NRL after failing a drugs test. Jennings' A sample tested positive for performance-enhancing ligandrol and ibutamorin and their metabolites, basically some things he shouldn't be taking, in September, said the league. The centre, 32, said he is, quote, completely shocked and denies cheating. Jennings could face a 4-year ban if found guilty of taking the substances banned by the World Anti-Doping Agency, but can ask for his B sample to be analysed, which I would imagine is an automatic thing.
If he's saying he's not guilty and stuff, but he could have accidentally taken the same multiple banned substances, and his B sample contained the same. I suppose the chances of a sample being contaminated, I think, are less than the chances of him taking something unintentionally, which are less than the chances of him taking something intentionally. Potentially.
Yes.
It's sad. It will be a sad way to
allegedly and potentially.
Yeah, it'll be a sad way to end what seemed like a resurgence in the last season, year and a half, after kind of his career was on the wane. This year in particular is been outstanding. Now, if this is why,
well, just if that's only happened because he's been buzzing off his eyeballs, then that's probably no bad thing that he's been caught. But yes, innocent until proven otherwise, just to be on the safe side.
Meanwhile, police have charged St George Illawarra Dragons Tristan Saylor with aggravated sexual assault. Playmaker Saylor, the 22-year-old son of former Australia dual-code star Wendell, is accused of attacking a woman at a home in Sydney last week. The New South Wales police statement said, Sailor was refused bail and is due to appear in court already, I think yesterday. So justice moves fast.
Yeah, quite rightly as well.
Yeah, terrible crime if guilty.
Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say to that, frankly. And finally, Barrow Raiders have been fined by Cumbria Police after breaching coronavirus regulations. The innovative League One club have turned their innovative but not legal. League One club have turned their Craven Park pitch into a beer garden during the season lockdown, which has attracted thousands of guests. But they've been fined after being found to have breached guidance on September 26th. A police statement said it was found the club holding a marquee public function allowed people of different groups to mingle and allowed people to be appropriate distances.
So you broke up a little bit there. You said allow people to be up and dancing without maintaining appropriate distances.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, rugby league turning a good story into a bad story within a matter of weeks, eh?
Never miss the opportunity to do so.
Unbelievable. This is a real shoot yourself in the foot moment. Yes.
I mean, come on. I mean, you know, all this is about is basically what I think what people have always tried to do through this entire process is just try to be sensible about things and don't get complacent. And it appears that they have become complacent and let things happen, which is stupid, frankly. And
it's really not helpful for rugby league's arguments about wanting people in stadiums.
No, it doesn't help, does it?
It doesn't.
Not at all.
No. Anyway.
No.
It's a shame, a real shame. I know lots of people don't like all the rules that are in place and the regulations that are in place, and I'm not saying I do like them, but if you want them to change, the way to make them change isn't by fucking breaking them. It's by following them, demonstrating that you can follow them, and then saying, give us a bit more space to do something a bit more, and we'll follow those too, because it's not causing a problem. But seems like we can't do that, sadly.
Sadly not.
Credit, as always, primarily goes to Love Rugby League, Total RL, BBC Love Rugby League as well for their reporting. We kind of just copy and paste and chat about it. Some of the stuff we take directly from source of RFL press releases as well. Thanks to Tom for his obligatory news view on the whole KR news story. Hopefully people will...
Same otherwise.
Yeah, hopefully people will click on the link on the episode blog post that you'll be able to see on superleaguepod.com and comment on some news stories yourself and give us a bit more rounded views of these stories, but get some positive news stories, some efforts at the grassroots levels and stuff there for development and expansion and stuff. So that's positive.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Super League match.
Should we talk about some games?
Yeah, let's do it. Round 15 of the Super League it was last Thursday and Friday. We're going to start with the first game because that makes sense. It was Huddersfield versus Salford. It was 12-8 to the Giants at half time, but the Salford Red Devils turned that around to come out 24 points and 16 winners. The bearded referee Robert Hicks was the man with the whistle. In terms of the stats, there was more errors and more penalties that hurt the Giants, who made 7 breaks to 4 but weren't able to capitalise. Salford made nearly 200 more metres at almost 1 metre per carry better average gain, making that count with their 8-point win. Individually, Kristen Inu stole the show. 3 tries, 8 tackles, 161 metres, 2 clean breaks. Luke Yates, with 43 tackles and 146 metres, went both ways, as Luke Yates tends to. Gil Dudson, 40 tackles and 117 metres, joined his teammate in going both ways. And Dan Sargentson, despite spending 10 minutes in the bin, contributed with 1 try assist, 6 tackle busts, 149 metres and 5 successful offloads. There were some performers, especially in the outside backs, for the losing Giants side.